Hello, this is Cliff Tom, and pardon my smiles and my good demeanor, but what else can one do? It has been 3 years, coming up on 3 years, since my now dying mother. I will break down maybe eventually, but I'd like to keep it short and sweet. Again, we all know how our attentions are ever decreasing with technology, but this is a very serious issue that affects not only my mother, but children in the States as well as the seniors within, I call it now, honeysuckling states, where they entrap you in America with the lure of coming to stay, coming to retire, and then it's a form of, well, it's Baker acting in Florida. I don't know what they are, what it is in California, what they exactly call it in these states. But then they steal all of your money, they lock you up, they put you away into these facilities, right? They can call it what they want, but we affected families that have been destroyed by these greedy, selfless acts know what it is. So again, my name is Cliff Tom, and my mother is Kerry Kienlen Tom, trapped in Clearwater Aurovilla memory care facility down in Pinellas. I call it Pinellas, Florida. It's the small penis of the big penis of Florida. And again, not disparaging the large majority of the people there, but the politics have really become more fascist and officious, over the last 10 years since I've been going down there, even more so. You've seen a complete erosion of any technology or any buildings that house businesses, except the deputies and the sheriff's department, which are a largesse corporation unto themselves, when they are the biggest entity within it, the most successful entities within the county, you know you're in trouble and you're not living in the land of the free anymore. That said, congratulations to the RNC and especially President Trump. I've been drinking from my President Trump, the first presidency cup, your inaugural cup, sir, for the last 8 years, but you've been my president for the last 8 years for sure, and welcome back. And congratulations, Chairwoman Trump. Hopefully outgoing DeSantis, who has done nothing for my family. He's been too busy, obviously, chasing the presidency to care about unjustly entrapped citizens who are then barred and prohibited from seeing we family, who have cared for them so much. So I'm going to briefly state this as Chairwoman Trump. You'd make a wonderful Florida senator in replacing our good Senator Rubio, who is becoming Secretary of State. But for some reason, I don't know, I don't think DeSantis will appoint you. And something tells me he'll appoint himself. He's just that type of selfish dude. Anyway, pardon my cough. It's early morning here. I'm in Asia, wherein I've been a professor for so many years. But what can I say any more than what I've already said on my YouTube videos? So I think I'm going to connect this one to the other ones that you can preview or purview, especially the last one. My hot morning coffee. I'm drafting my congratulatory email to you after the inauguration. Lord only knows how busy the party is, let alone President Trump and everyone. And I know there's much bigger things, especially when there's terrorism still in America and other disasters occurring that can snatch lives at a moment's notice. But to really kidnap a mentally ill 80-year-old woman at the height of our COVID and then prohibit the son and the family that wanted health care for her for the past decade plus, and myself that was falsely arrested because of her histrionic and paranoid schizophrenic behavior, to then deny her the ability to see us and to meet her now 11-year-old grandson. It's beyond inhumane. And all of these bottom-feeding lawyers, these guardians, criminal guardians, who should be in jail for what they've done to their wards previously. This Davy Hilaire, I guess, his wife's also a guardian too. So if you're not talking about the nepotism that happens down in Pinellas County, Florida, that's quintessential. And they live in one of the best places of that county. I mean, it is in complete pillaging, raping of our seniors and our children just for financial gain, complete cronyism. People cannot believe in the world that this happens in the land of our free, but I keep telling them it does. So for the next remaining 5 minutes, I'll just recap what has happened. So we had always had a second home, my family, that side of my family down in Florida, for about 40 some odd years. Yeah, for about 40 some odd years, I think. So it was a magical time at that period. There were still billboards advertising businesses, not just lawyer services. It has become just a lawyering, criminalizing county, especially that county. It was a wonderful time with my grandparents and my mother. So we'd come down. Then my grandparents also started falling ill, and my grandmother had Alzheimer's dementia as well. So I saw firsthand the atrocities. I switched gears from my master's in business administration and information systems to healthcare, long-term healthcare administration. I wrote my thesis on Alzheimer's dementia, or a thesis, right? I don't want to mislead like Pinellas County. So I know what happens. That said, it was much better that my grandmother aged without violence, unlike my mom. My mom became physically aggressive, minute by minute, day by day. I had been falsely arrested once prior, and once you're in their system, you're in their system. And I've learned this. You can ask anybody that's been in their system in Pinellas County, that once you're in their system, regardless of the case disposition, these ill-educated, money first, throw you in the system deputies will keep falsely arresting you. There's I think it's McKyman or McGuyman, this very nice individual that was trying to win the sheriff's department, become sheriff, and he was just completely arrested, falsely arrested, talking about vindictiveness and thrown who knows where. Maybe he's in a deep, dark cell in Pinellas County somewhere. It should be a county that's under federal investigation with the heads of these corrupted departments and these corrupted entities within Pinellas locked up. So that said, falsely arrested, I came down year after year to try to care for my mother, find her appropriate care. She was obviously abused by her Baycare-associated physicians for years. She would then call the police on me, not knowing why I was there, what I was doing there when I flew in all the way from Asia. And then the deputies don't want to hear it. Well, boy, you're from China. Where you from? You know, that type of thing. To where you're just falsely arrested, and then you would like to think the more intelligent State's Department or the state's attorney there, the state's attorney, not the department. The state's department in our states needs to investigate everyone involved in Pinellas County, but the state's attorneys then review it and dismiss it. One actually took it to trial, and of course a jury of my peers threw it out, right? Found me not guilty, but the deputies just don't. They don't read it. I don't think many of them can read, personally. That said, my mother then went off the hinges, right? So this was in the height of COVID. I was still in Asia. Borders were in lockdown. Never got notified of her first Baker acting. But then, let me have another sip of my coffee. But then, the second Baker acting, we had a Zoom kangaroo court proceeding, and I said my mom's needed help for the longest, and then they go ahead and appoint this criminal guardian who, amongst other things, kept a woman with Down syndrome away from her family for many years. He was sued, obviously I think hopefully lost, but of course it doesn't appear on the record because they protect their own, they protect the greed and the siphoning and the stealing of families and their money within that horrible county. That said, I'm pleading and I'm begging you, Chairwoman Trump, RNC Chairman Whately, President Trump coming from your hand for a presidential order, anything so we can see my mother. I mean, I'm in the crosswinds between laughter. It is so despicable, so humorous, so unbelievably atrocious, right? The battle of these emotions that this can occur and still happens in America. Well, it just happens, period, in America, let alone in the land of the free in 2025, but it certainly does. Wherein this county's allowed to break their own Florida guardianship rules and laws and prohibiting families from seeing their loved ones. Anyway, that's my alarm. I've got to go to work. But wishing you the best. Godspeed, President Trump. You've got a lot to accomplish. I just wrote a departing piece on my LinkedIn to President Biden. So long, farewell. I wish him the best. But you're the right man at the right time again. MAGA. All right, take care. Yes, all right. Arrivederci. Bye.